Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. Not here to save your soul, I'm here to save your business, here to save your job, here to save our community. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. If you're a business owner and you ever found yourself at a business crossroads, not sure which way to go, left, right, or indifferent, tune in right here to the Marketing Pulpit Show with Robert Gatewood. I'm a business developer by trade. Been doing this most of my life, at least practically all of my adult life. And my goal is to help our community become self-sufficient and build an economic foundation. And that's what I do. I'm also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College, where I teach marketing, PR, social media strategies, networking, franchising, and a few other things over there. And so I'm just glad to be here today on another day, right here on the Marketing Pulpit Show. We got an exciting show today. This is June. And this is also the first Friday of the month. So if you are in the DC area, get on over to the First Friday networking event at 9701 Apollo Drive in Largo, Maryland. I will be there. Miss Bernadette Clay will be there, and a host of very smart, talented business owners who are going to be sharing information, sharing resources so that we can weather some of these economic storms and take advantage of some of the opportunities that are out here. Going to talk about later in the show. We're going to talk about when elephants fight. If you have been watching TV or CNN or on the internet, you basically have to have your head in the ground for not seeing what's happening to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Well, my theme today, my marketing sermon, is going to be about when elephants fight. It's an old African proverb that says when elephant fight, the grass get trampled on, the grass is destroyed. In other words, when these behemoths slug it out, the bystanders, the innocent people, are the ones that suffer. They have billions of dollars, resources, contacts, and unlimited opportunities, but they're not really mindful of what's happening to the people on the ground when they're up there acting the fool. So we're going to talk about that and who are some of the winners and losers when these elephants fight. This is June, beginning of June. We have some observances. This is, of course, we have Juneteenth coming up on the 19th. I guess it's still a holiday. Man, with the people wiping out DEI and this assault on our community, education, institutions, businesses, Medicaid, health insurance. I guess we'll still have a Juneteenth coming up. Anyway, that's coming up in the month of June. It's also Pride Month, which honors the LGBTQ community. Also, we have Father's Day coming up on the 15th of this month. That's about a week from now, about a week and a few days from now. So if I'm not back here live on Father's Day week, I want to say hats off to all the fathers out there and the men who are acting in the role of fathers. We really appreciate you and all you're doing to uplift our community. I know it's particularly challenging in our community with all the distractions and assault on the community, and particularly the males. So just hang in there. We appreciate everything you're doing. It's a lot going on, and it's a tough time. It's a time to strap down, buckle down, be resolute, and hang in there because the community really needs you. The community needs you now more than ever. Let's see what else is going on. We're going to talk about, once again, come on out to the first Friday at BLE Executive Suites, 9701 Apollo Drive. I'll be there. We're going to talk about some of these things that we can do collectively, because the challenges and opportunities that we face as individuals and as a community are best tackled as a unit, as a group. You really can't do this by yourself, or at least you can't do it very well by yourself. So that's why I'm always encouraging people to come together and marshal our resources under one umbrella, or in many cases, multiple umbrellas, but try to build these partnerships and relationships. And that's another reason why we have this First Friday networking event on the first Friday of every month. And I invite you to come out and join us, and we will be glad to have you. Also, if you, this is also, I see some other observances we're observing this month. It's African American Music Appreciation Month. That's a very noble cause. Alzheimer's Brain and Awareness Month. Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. It's also PTSD Awareness Month, and it's also Effective Communication Month. Now, I really like the Effective Communication Month because the more effective you are able to communicate, the more likely you can get things done. I'm a big communicator. I like communication. That's part of what marketing is about. That's part about what business development is about. And many things that I do harbor on the ability to communicate. So just a couple of quick tips on communication before we get into our sermon today, talking about when elephants fight. Now, if you're to be an effective communicator, these are some foundational things that you should consider. Number one is being clarity. Clarity, be clear and concise. When you're communicating with somebody, remember, people have a short attention span. Don't start telling your whole life story behind every point you're trying to get across. Be clear and be concise. Also, actively listen. When you're communicating with somebody, don't do all the talking. You want to listen, and you want to actively listen, meaning you're paying attention. You want to make sure you paraphrase to make sure you're getting the point. Also, empathy is a big part of effective communication. Making sure you can put yourself in that other person's shoes. Then there's also nonverbal communication cues, such as your body language, facial expressions, or you're making eye contact, and gestures to convey that you are getting it. You're getting the message. Also, be open-minded. Consider other people's viewpoints. That is a very important plank in the platform of effective communication. Also, give feedback when people are talking to you. Communication is a two-way street, so you want to give feedback and also use the appropriate tone based on the circumstances and the environment. Sometimes it's okay to be comical, sometimes it's okay to be forceful, sometimes it's okay to be mild. So you want to make sure the tone matches the context of the point you're trying to get across. Also, make sure your communication matches the audience. I was watching this young lady on Sirius XM the other morning. She's actually, when she's on Sirius XM, she curses like a sailor. Then I saw her on the Abby Phillips show on CNN, and she was like a church girl. And that's okay. Sometimes you have to match your tone with the audience you're talking to or what they're accustomed to. Some areas you can go and cuss, other areas you can't. Also, ask questions along the way. If you're not sure about something during your communication, ask the question. Make sure you understand. And also, be patient, be calm, show composure, because communication, as I said, is a two-way dialogue. Sometimes people are really passionate about what they're trying to convey. Sometimes they're not getting it out as fast as you might want them to get it out. Sometimes it's so be patient and try to give them a chance to speak their piece. And if we communicate, I'm telling you, many of the world's problems can be solved by communication. Who knows? Anyway, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about when elephants fight. When elephants fight, there's an African proverb. It's the grass to get trampled. The blades of grass suffer, and those blades of grass are symbolic of the people. Now, I'm taking on this topic today in the light of the breakup of the Elon Musk and Donald Trump bromance. And boy, it's been when many people are getting out their popcorn, I say it's worth for all of us to take stock and say, hey, how is this going to affect me? The richest guy in the world having a fight, elephants up there fighting. Am I down here getting trampled on? So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about that story and give you my take on who are the winners, who are the losers, and what should you be doing while these elephants up here fighting. This is the Marketing Pulpit. We'll be back in a moment. All right, let's talk about our marketing sermon for the day. We're talking about when elephants fight, who is really getting hurt? We've seen this Trump-Musk bromance rupture in real time yesterday. Musk fired the first salvo. He did not like the so-called big beautiful bill that Trump put before Congress. He called it an abomination, a disgusting abomination. And he did several other tweets. And finally, Trump came back and said that Musk was just mad because he wasn't getting his EV, his electric vehicle credits. And of course, he also said Musk should have known about it. Musk came back, so I didn't know anything about it. Matter of fact, they did this in the dead of night. Probably the Congress people didn't read it. And the thing just escalated. It just went from worse to worse. Finally, it got so bad that Musk accused Trump of being complicit in the Epstein saga, pretty much calling him a pedophile. He also said that he could All right, we're back. Sorry for the interruption. Technology, boy, technology. But anyway, make a long story short, these guys are fighting it out. The last thing we heard that Trump had threatened to kill off Musk contracts and Musk come back. So I'm going to suspend the Dragonflies satellites, pretty much putting the country at risk. And then he walked that back. So they kind of had a standoff. I'm not sure where they are this morning, but yesterday, man, it was like it was happening in real time. People getting out their popcorn and being entertained. But this is really no laughing matter when you think about it. You have the most powerful guy in the world, for better or worse, really for the worse, and the richest man in the world, for better or worse, really for the worse, fighting it out like two elephants. Well, the phrase "when elephants fight," it is the grass that suffers. It's an old African proverb, and it highlights that when two powerful entities are battling it out, in conflict, it's the ordinary citizens that bear the consequences. So, just my bit of advice: while you have your popcorn out, also have your antennas up. Stay informed. Keep abreast of what's happening around this conflict and how it might affect you. It may affect your stock portfolio, supply chain. Don't get your eye off the ball of what's happening with this big, ugly bill that's going through Congress now that's going to affect Medicaid, SNAP, which feeds hungry children. So stay informed. Don't fall for the okadoke. Also, excuse me, 1 second. Yeah, stay informed and also engage in dialogue. Forums like this, and make sure that you have community groups and things like that where you share interests, common interests of others, so that we can discuss these things. Protect your interests. Look for ways that you can mitigate any type of loss that may come from these types of conflicts. Be an advocate. Advocate for yourself, for your family, and for your interests, and don't just be a spectator on the sidelines. Sure, these guys are big and powerful, but so are you. You don't have to just be a spectator or be the blade of grass that gets trampled on. We do that by collaborating, engaging together as a community, and be resilient, ready to bounce back in case you do get knocked down or stepped on by these fighting giants. And for you business owners, I want you to assess your risks, diversify your supply chains. I've talked about this on many occasions, not just when Trump and Musk are fighting the food, but I've had many shows talking about supply chain. Supply chain simply means that where you're getting your products, your goods and services that you're offering to the public, where's your internet coming from, your phone services, your staff, temporary staff, contractors, subcontractors. Make sure you are diverse so that nothing is coming only from one source. Also, when you're out here on the internet, it's where it gets a little dicey. Sometimes your public statements can come back to haunt you, particularly if you're working in the government or if you're on a contract, subcontractor, or if you're some kind of downline where your statements can get back to other people. And I'm not one in favor. I'm telling you, I'm not one of those people that say bite your tongue and don't say what you have to do, what you have to say, or how you feel. But sometimes when you're on somebody else's clock and you're beholden to someone else for your paycheck, you have to make a decision. Do I want to stay here or do I want to go out here on my own? Well, I made a decision early. I don't work for the government. I don't work for any corporation. I did at some point. But now I'm pretty much at liberty to say what the heck I want. Well, I might lose a client here or there. And none of us are totally oblivious to repercussions, no matter how big your company is. There's always some force that can impact you. So before you go out here and get your bullhorn and just make an assessment of who butters your bread, who writes your check. If you're ready to go out here and take the heat, have at it. I said, right on, more power to you. But if you have that mortgage and that car note and that kid's education riding on your neutrality, I mean, look, I'm just saying. And I'm not one to bite my tongue. I'm just saying, take a stock of how you might impact it, how you might be impacted. Also, have some contingency plans. That's another thing I always ask people to do when you're in business. If something happens that's not to your liking, that might adversely affect your income or your cash flow, what's your plan B? I'm not one of these folks that say fly without a net. Usually those folks that say that, they either haven't been out here long enough, they have a net they're just not telling you about. Either their wife is working or their husband is working or they got some money stashed away somewhere. No. Plan for that contingency, which means putting some money somewhere, having a backup plan, diversify your streams of income. And that's another tip I like to give everybody. Take a look at your job and your let's say if you're a business owner. Look at your income, where your money comes from, and ask yourself, can this money be converted into passive income or recurring income? So that when you fall down and bump your head one day and can't get up and work, catch the flu or COVID or something, money's got to keep coming in. Last time I checked, Verizon and Pepco and Washington Gas, they don't have I fell down and bumped my head, pause. And sometimes they'll give you a little slack, but particularly if you're in business, you got supplies coming in, you got to pay for inventory, you got staff to pay. Look at your business model and ask yourself how much of this can be turned into recurring passive income. And sometimes that means creating an ecosystem where you have several partnerships, subcontracts, and so forth that will keep the money coming without you having to have a hand on. Also, leverage this technology to build up your business resilience. Once again, online sales platforms, using AI, things like that. So in general, collaborate, network, build your network. That's going to help you when these fools up here fighting, trampling on the grass, like they say when the elephants fight. It's the blades of grass that suffer the most. If you have to, seek professional advice. People like myself, I'm a business counselor. Not looking for clients right now, but I will give everybody a free consultation for 15 minutes if they ask. And lastly, but not least, we're in a time where when you get out here on social media, once again, just be mindful of your statements if you're going to be impacted. If somebody else is writing your check, if you want to get out here and say anything you want to, quit. Start your own business. If you can't do that, then chill till this thing gets over, or at least calm down a little bit. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web. You can go to my website, gatewoodmarketing.com. Also, if you need a website domain names, hosting accounts, email accounts, go to gatewood.biz And you can start with $11.99 a month, starting your web journey. Also, if you're in the DC area, come on out to the First Friday networking event sponsored by BLE Executive Suites and Miss Bernadette Clay, and yours truly, Robert Gatewood and Gatewood Marketing and the Marketing Pulpit. I'll be there this week. This month we're gonna have Diamond Drip. She's a business consultant, very high tech, very knowledgeable, cutting edge. She's gonna be our guest presenter today, and that's another one of those benefits of networking, those resources and information channels that come through. So I'll be there with my notepad out. I'll be opening things up, welcoming everyone. As a matter of fact, I need to get on down there in a few minutes. Good morning, Mr. Brown, the greatest plumber in town. Hope I'll see you in a little bit. And that's going to wrap it up for today. I'll be back next week on the Marketing Pulpit Radio Show. And if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing. Do it at the right time. I think that last thing you're supposed to do. Yeah, I have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.